Hello there, YouTube. It's your boy Josh Hawks.
It's your boy Tay.
This is another episode of Sports Talk Tay and Josh. And on this, we're gonna do Fallout episode 1. So we're gonna release this little by little. So just to show you, we're gonna do it episode by episode. We're not gonna just drop them all off. But before we get started, I would love for you to hit the like button, subscribe, also follow us on Twitter and join our Facebook group. Also, spoiler alerts. Just giving one. We may discuss spoilers. We're not gonna do a play by play, but just
Yeah.
if you haven't seen it, just pause here, go watch it, come back and discuss whether your theories, whether you agree or disagree with our theories or any reviews. Leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
All right. So, Fallout episode 1, titled "The Ending." What was your thoughts? Any thoughts or anything you saw? First reaction or anything?
Um. First reaction. So my first reaction was, oh, they went straight to it. Like I mean, just be honest. I like the introduction of the characters that they showing
Hmm.
how they break down each introduction of them. So
Yeah.
like in the beginning of it, you see the pretty much the origin story of Cooper Howard, which he is the ghoul. Um,
Hmm.
we see how his events leading up to the Great War that happened in this in the storyline where that happened. I think in this time frame it should be in L.A. and
Yeah. It was in Los Angeles.
in like October 23rd, 2077, if I'm not mistaken. But it was set in L.A. around that time. Um,
Hmm.
it looked like it was going to be the start of the Great War, and that was like the first like nuclear weapon, like war, like all out nuclear weapon war that happened.
Hmm.
And it's like it just showed what he was doing because it looked like he was a actor slash showman for a lot of people. Exact
Hmm.
like high power people, and he was doing like I guess a special event,
Yeah, a birthday event.
birthday
Yeah.
event.
So what happened in episode 1, the beginning, the first 7 minutes was great. It was
Great.
showing pretty much how it happened. If you watch the first episode leading up to it, he's at like a birthday party doing
Yeah.
his showman stuff. But as you notice, like even the TV, the radio was talking about the nuclear, pretty much a disagreement, the
Yeah.
war, pretty much. And there's also reports on the radio that the president hasn't been seen, no one knows
Yes.
his whereabouts and
Yep.
stuff like that. If you go back, that's a key Easter egg that we might have went over a lot
Yeah.
of people. Then on top of that, the seeing the nuclear hit LA and and then
And
pretty much it was
actually
coming
seeing
towards and it was more, yeah, especially when she
the
kept her
thumb.
thumbs
Yeah.
up. I was like, dang. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah.
If it's
So
bigger than your thumb, you know what that means. It means it's war.
introducing Cooper, his backstory. Then they switched to Maximus, which is another
Yeah.
character. Yeah. So Maximus. Then they introduced Lucy.
Lucy.
It
Yep.
was just let's go. Let me discuss Lucy. So Lucy's situation,
It's different.
she was
It's
is
different.
a little bit different. Pretty much. Did you get
Yeah.
the red wedding vibes?
Yeah.
Like after the wedding,
Yeah. Well, with her background too is that she was one of the ones that kind of like knew about the Great War coming down. So she was a
Mhm,
Volt. So she,
mhm,
she was in these Voltec, I guess you want to say factories or laboratory. I ain't even
mhm.
gonna say laboratory because they're not really a lab. It's just they just in a factory, um,
Uh,
like a bunker. I say a bunker. That's the right word I want to say. It's a bunker. That is with a group of people, like a group of people that have made their way into this new form of living. If after finding out about the nuclear bombs dropping. So with her, she's in I think Vault 33, and
yeah, Volt 33.
yeah, and then she had to. I guess the overseer was her father. Her father's name was Hank, and they
Yeah,
agreed to pretty much marry her to one of the dwellers
yeah, Volt 32.
in Vault
And
32.
yeah, and later found out that Volt 32 was full of raiders. Pretty much what happened. And pretty much it was like a Red Wedding slash
Yeah,
Game of Thrones. I hate to compare two different franchises, but it was like on
yeah.
that path, pretty much.
Now the crazy thing is, it was a nice way how they introduced the Raiders. like
Yeah.
actually showing like they killed off some of the crew from Vault 32, and they was in that wedding, and you even seen some signs of them being raiders. Like the old girl
Mhm.
was just sitting there, just like uncomfortable at the wedding table, and even old boy was kind of crazy. Like he looked normal, but now that you had that machine on your wrist, you wasn't gonna know if he's a raider. And a lot of people don't know what raiders are. Raiders are people that have high radiation from the blast, pretty much.
Mhm.
So the whole pretty much the whole crew from Vault 32 actually was raiders. Oddly enough, even the overseer.
I'm not sure who was the main character of the Raider. The woman.
Her name was. Let me find it.
I'm not sure what her name was. They didn't say her name in the episode. I watched the episode like 3 times. I'm trying to
Her name. Her actual name was Lee Mulder.
emote her. Okay, okay. I didn't know they didn't really mention her name
Yeah. So that was like she was the overseer. She was like the Hank for Vault
though. Hmm.
32. So she actually agreed with Hank for the marriage
Hmm.
of the Dweller and Lucy. And like I said, we
Hmm.
found out about, they did the whole, you know, thing you do after weddings. And then she found out he's a raider. So then the whole fight sequence pursued after that.
Hmm.
And like I said, then we see the pretty much them trying to take over Vault 33. So that was like,
Yeah,
for
trying to
the
take on vote 32.
yeah,
Then after that, her father left, pretty much was
exactly.
taken to the surface, and she pretty much, in a nutshell, went up there. It was actually great. Then they switched to another character, Maximus,
Maximus, yeah.
and his role, pretty much joined what the brothers still.
Yeah, Brotherhood is
Yeah,
still
it's the
he
Brotherhood is still,
he pretty
and
much
pretty
followed.
much how his friend, pretty much they was supposed to get selected, and
Mhm.
I'm not trying to give too much away, but that's pretty much what happened. But overall, I like the pace of it. I like the background, and then after that, Cooper got woken up, which now he become a ghoul, which
Yes,
is what 200 years later. It was like 200 years later.
219 to be exact.
Yep, yeah, yeah, like
219
200.
years.
Yeah. Hmm.
219 years later. So dang, that is crazy. So he literally been underground to the year 2296. That is
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, that's crazy, but
To be
yeah.
to mind you, ghouls in the video game are prolonged, like they're prolonged, like specimens. They're not immortal. They just live very long. So for that man to
Hmm.
be underground for
Hmm.
219 years
Hmm.
and haven't even like sniffed death yet, like, like that's crazy. Um, yeah, that's crazy. Like I'm waiting to see like the other, like how they're gonna play out some of the other characters in Fallout, or how far in depth and Fallout, because with the
Hmm.
TV series, because technically they know it's canon now. It is canon with the video games.
Hmm.
So
Actually, this show made me want to go back and play the video
yeah,
game. Like,
exactly.
yeah, it made me want to. So overall, I enjoyed it. The pace, the story, the background, pretty much showing the ending. I understand the title. The ending is of the past world before
Yeah,
the war, nuclear war. So I get the meaning of it. But I can't wait till we see more,
yeah,
especially Lucy interacting with the surface. They pretty much gave a lot in the trailer, but you know.
yeah. And then I also like the fact that they
Mhm.
actually went with original story of it and try to tie in with the actual, like it's still tied into the game, but it's the original story. I like that fact that they just didn't try to like make it to where it's really based off the video game, like the actual characters, how like
Mhm.
the actual overall game series. And then I like the fact that it was also 9 years after. So if you is after 9 years after Fallout 4. So
Mhm.
that's why I like it, the fact that they added it to a whole different coast, unlike they did it in the same realm of it. So now we get a different form of it in the West Coast and see how they saw it when it all went down. So I'm very intrigued with this, and this is just episode one. I'm waiting to see like
Episode
more.
one, yeah, we're gonna. So we're gonna. I'm probably gonna binge watch all the episodes,
Yeah,
but we probably gonna do them episode by episode. So I'd like for you to stay tuned. Oh, but Tay, what we give the rating to episode one?
man, this is probably one of the best introductions I've seen. So I'll probably say a 8.5 actually.
I was leaning towards like an 8.5 too. I was like, this gotta be a B plus. I said, I don't know if I want to jump the gun and say nine,
Nah,
but
nah.
I'm gonna say about 8.5. It was a B plus,
Yeah,
8.5, 8.7. Actually got good reviews. And
yeah,
I just looked up the reviews. A lot of people liked it. Rotten
yeah.
Tomatoes and fairly all the users. I
Hmm.
kind of listen to Rotten Tomatoes. I look at the viewers, like the
Viewership.
users,
Yeah.
more viewership more than actual the
And
critics.
sometimes, like you said, like everybody, every rapper, Jay Z, that started it. He said, "Women lie, men lie, numbers don't." That ain't the highest, the number one most streamed show right now.
Right now. Did it beat any records? Like, or just
As far
number
as
one?
Amazon, I think in Amazon it did. I think the first day viewership was probably the highest, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Okay.
Then
All right.
besides,
I
yeah,
figured it was
besides,
gonna do good because I think they're doing three seasons of it, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, they might, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
if it's pulling out numbers like that, Amazon got no choice but to make another season for it. But
exactly,
I'm gonna give it like actually we both agree.
yeah,
And just let you guys know we don't discuss our viewership. So we try to go in unbiased. So I give it an 8.5.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it like 8.5, 8.6. I might do an 8.7. It's not quite a nine, but it was a great introduction to the characters of
Yeah.
Fallout. So
And then it's like I said, it's not all over the place. We're basing this show off three characters and keep it
mhm.
on those three characters. Now, the thing is, how long are they going to keep these three characters in the same story loop, other than separating them? Because technically, right
They
now, Cooper, Maximus, and Lucy are all in the same story. Technically, right now.
they probably eventually gonna interact, maybe later in the season
Yeah,
or season two, probably later in the season. I'm not trying to give any spoilers. I got an idea they're gonna pretty much interact eventually.
yeah.
Eventually.
That's what I'm thinking too.
All right. All right. But I want to thank everybody for watching. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, follow us on Twitter, Facebook group, or
Mhm.
also check out our other content too. We have plenty of other content, and we're gonna try to release this maybe the episodes maybe once or twice a week. We're gonna go through each episode. Then we're gonna do one big overview of the season one, and we
Yep.
can discuss. All right. Peace and hair grease.